Welcome everyone to All is Possible number 8. If this is your first time, you can go back to the replays. That's on our website or YouTube channel. We have all the previous All is Possible retreats there. I see other people joining us. Okay. So I would like today to start by introducing ourselves. So on the chat box, some have said hello and where they are connecting from. So I would love to introduce our team today. If you are subscribed to our newsletter, towards the bottom of the newsletter, you'll find who the team is, but I think it's good that you start to know us and who we are. So I'm Gaitana, and Yantal is next to me, and we are the founders of Enlightened Education. And we guide the spiritual seekers and students who are ready to walk the path of enlightenment ascension. For the last decade, we have been sharing Ascended Master teachings to help all willing hearts awaken their prosperity consciousness. We live in Las Terrenas, Samaná. This is the Dominican Republic. And we live here. We have been here for many, many years. And we have been called to come here to help raise the individual collective consciousness. So we're not originally from the Dominican Republic, but this is our mission place. Suana and Simbel, you can say hi with your hands, hi, if you want. They are our life mentors in our community, and they share our foundational teachings to prepare students to live a heart-centered life and support them as they align with their sovereign destiny. They help you walk the path of the 33 light codes to reveal your authentic purpose mission. And that's an ongoing program that is called Master Destiny. We'll talk about that later. It's a path of liberation from ancestral and karmic limitations. You may want to consider joining that program. And Aluna Ashaya, you can say hi with your hands also for people to know who you are. They are our temple keepers. It's an etheric temple right now, and they maintain the sanctity of our etheric temple and offer daily devotions to Source to help us maximize the light, preserve the purity of our force field of love truth, and help prepare the way for the students and chelas of the Ascended Masters who are ready for soul liberation, enlightenment, and ascension. Yes? So you'll support of all our team today, and hopefully if you join any of our programs, you'll also meet them to start your freedom journey. We share a spiritual technology that is called Enlightened Education. And that's our new website, enlightened-education.com. This is the educational blueprint of the Golden Age. We are in the Aquarian Age or the Golden Age, and we need a new curriculum, which is based on the principle of prosperity. Prosperity means not only abundance, but how we make progress on the path in life as we remove our obstacles and outer obstacles to freedom. Yes, that's what prosperity means. So we both have karmic and ancestral imprints that make it difficult to make progress in life. So I have to go look at that. There's technology for that. There's alchemy. We have to learn to master so that we can become liberated. Just an announcement before we continue. Our last All is Possible retreat will be on November the 2nd. We had said that we would finish in December, but in December we are hosting here an in-person retreat, and we don't want to distract it from that because it's a very intense experience. So the last All is Possible is going to be next month, November the 2nd. Due to daylight saving time, that last retreat will be at 12 p.m. instead of 11 a.m. Eastern time. Yes? So we're moving that. We'll, of course, announce that. That will be on our website. We'll send reminders. But just for you to know that it will begin at midday, 12 p.m. Eastern time. In our previous online retreat, All is Possible number 7, you can go back to the replay if you want, we shared a very powerful mantra that we're teaching for the whole month. And that mantra was, find me in the darkness. Find me in the darkness. Me means God, the light. So find God, find the light, find the field of perfection, the matrix of perfection in the darkness. That means that when we give that mantra, we are trained to be willing to face our karma, find the inner causes of suffering. We tend to project suffering onto the world of others, but the causes are within. And it's a good mantra to start being ready and willing to do the inner alchemy. Yes, to face the shadow aspects. But without guilt, without shame, without fear, without judgment, right? Just going there to know ourselves better, to understand the light and the shadow in us and how we balance those frequencies. Of course, the fastest way to balance karma and to make progress is to joyfully serve the ones we have made karma with. If we are here in embodiment, it means that we have karma with other souls, with other people, and we are here to balance that. And those maybe are the people who we don't want to engage with so much or serve joyfully. But that's the key, yes? We will start attracting those people to our lives so we can look in those mirrors and love them and serve them and give them the keys to freedom and liberation. So find the light in the darkness. For the ones who are new and maybe didn't do that mantra last month, find me in the darkness, or find the light in the darkness, means to see the perfection of every life experience. Can you all say that you see every life experience as perfect and fair and a joyful experience to be going through? No, right? Very difficult, actually. So the light is God. And the Ascended Masters define God, G-O-D, we said last time, as the geometry of divinity. God is not a person who is judging us or who is revengeful. It's a matrix of perfection. So the geometry of divinity. We are either tapping into that matrix of divine perfection, or we are connecting with our egoic matrix, and that creates a suffering. So we all, I think, agree that it is easy to keep the alignment with God, the geometry of divinity, perfection, when things go well. We are very grateful and devotional, and we pray and we thank everybody, and included. But when life takes an unexpected turn, we start complaining, cursing, sometimes even, we don't like it. We become resentful and defensive. We have to master those momentum of energy. Yes, because they are destructive, self-destructive. So in these moments when life does not turn the way we would like it to be presenting itself, in these moments, the defeat mindset can be triggered. Yes, we have all accumulated through the ego the defeat mindset, the failure mindset, or the failure syndrome, which is the mindset of the victim. We call it the poverty mindset also. Poor me, I'm not good enough. Why is this happening to me? All these things, right? That's a defeat mindset. So that can be triggered in those moments. It's always there, but it's triggered in moments. And then we stop being grateful. And when we stop being grateful, we disconnect from God, the geometry of divinity. Yes? And then we go in this disintegration spiral, destructive spiral, and things go worse and worse and worse. We lose momentum and things, don't look fun. So we may become depressed in those moments. We may become terrified in those moments, demotivated, give up, run away, project onto others, and not really face the shadow aspect. And I think that the trick of the ego, especially in those moments, is that it tells us that we can change without really changing anything. Do you know that ego? Yes? You'll change without changing much, which is impossible. So the mind might be saying, well, just adjust a few things here and there. Yes, it's just a matter of adjusting a few things, but not transforming. And this is a path of deep transformation. Deep transformation. And I have found, after so many years of being in service, that people are afraid of depth. We are all trained to be superficial. And I had many people in the past actually say, oh, Gaitana, life's not so deep. You're always, inquiring yourself, and things are superficial, easy, plain. Yeah, there's nothing deep about ourselves or life. Well, yes, there is. It is very deep. Okay. So we have to be okay with going deep. That's where we find all the programming and the potential we are looking for. Yes. If we have a superficial mindset, a superficial life, of course, we don't find anything of there. Yes. Now, is it easy to go deep on our own? No, because the mind will not take you there. The ego will not take you there. The dweller, we call it the dweller, does not take you there. Yes. So it requires a life mentor, a guru, someone who helps you, a community, a light network, to have the courage to know thyself. And that's when you start mastering your destiny and making progress in life. So I would love to start this retreat by reflecting on the lessons that we all learned since the last All is Possible retreat. And don't worry, even if you didn't join the previous retreat, you had life situations, I'm sure. And in hindsight, you can understand what happened last month for yourselves. So the first question is, could you find God in the darkness? I'm sure you all had moments of darkness. Let's just take this past month. Could you all find God? Could you all keep the alignment with that force field of perfection, of gratitude, of responsibility, of maturity, of connection? Could you find hope in the midst of challenging situations? Or when things get challenging, you give up on yourself, you abandon yourself? So reflect a bit, what happened in those moments? What was the response? What was the reaction? Did you victimize yourself? Did you use that to learn, to ask for help, to go forward? Start understanding how you react or respond to challenges. That's important to know, because there will be challenges till you ascend. So what is your relationship with darkness and challenges? And it's important to be cultivating a healthy relationship with those energies so that you master them. So I'll ask a few questions and then you can share. You can use a chat box or you can unmute yourselves. Could you cultivate more wisdom and compassion when facing your karma or difficult situations? Wisdom means you could see through experience and understand a lesson, learn a lesson. Compassion means you are not yourself. You had patience and love, and you were willing to explore a pattern or that situation or the dynamic in that relationship. And what was your main lesson last month? What was your main lesson? Whether you learned it or not, but become aware at least, right? If you didn't learn it last month, you can learn it this month. We'll give you tools for that. So what was your main lesson last month? Especially for the ones who find it difficult to face and admit and embrace your shadow, you can do that mantra, find me in the darkness. God, source telling you, find the light in the difficult moments. I'm always there. You're never alone. There's always a divine solution. You have to be willing to find it. Yeah. So it's a very good antidote for the victim mindset. Find me in the darkness. Come on, be active. Find me. It's up to you, to your responsibility to find me in those moments and not disconnect. So if anyone would like to share any lessons you learned, all in?
I learned that I needed to focus simply on one thing instead of trying to do three different things at once.
That's actually an amazing lesson. Focus, concentration, following the steps of initiation. Yes. Thank you for sharing that. That's brilliant. Thank you.
Well,
Bianca is sharing on the chat box. I learned that 100% I am better all around when I am connected with God. Yes. Otherwise, we're not the best version of ourselves, right? When we're disconnected. Thank you for sharing that. So, Seva, would you like to share?
Sure. It extends back a little bit further than last month, but I've been with Gaitana Yantal for about a year. And I used to come from a place where challenges I viewed as obstacles, right? Not opportunity. And opportunities to learn. And what I had in the past was just pure frustration and anger from those moments. And throughout, I'm learning to understand where these frustrations are sourced from, say, the ancestral, and learn how to understand and release them. So that it's helped me greatly, kind of look at challenges as a good thing and embrace them versus just getting pissed off.
Yes. That's actually more wisdom and compassion. It's amazing. That's what we call the Christ Buddha consciousness, right? When we can deal with life and life lessons in this humble and responsible and mature way, not run away from that, learn, not feel that we are being attacked by our karma. It comes back, it returns, so that we become liberated. Yes. So thank you, Seva. That's a brilliant lesson also. So on the chat box says, experiencing more love for my mirrors, able to see myself more through these mirrors. Do you all understand the concept of mirror? Who are the mirrors? Some say yes, some say no. So Anna, very briefly, could you share what a mirror is, how to recognize a mirror, what their function is?
So the mirrors are the people in your reality often. So the people who represent the sort of main relationships in your life. And so they will often mirror to you something, and it will be quite repetitive until you understand, oh, that's me. That's something for me to take a look at and to take ownership of, as Seva was saying. And then the deeper we go to discover that inside, then the mirror changes outside. So it's really perfect.
The thing is that our higher self creates the mirror for us to look at that, and then we fight the mirror. Isn't that funny, right? The mirror is a technology of the higher self. It means that whatever we don't recognize inside, the only other option is to look at that outside of ourselves. Just because we have more distance and perspective when it's outside. When it's inside, we lose track of that, we don't feel it, we naturalize it, we are not aware. So there's something that is natural from the higher self, the Christ self in us, that externalizes that pattern through a person or situation for us to look into that and learn. Okay? Now, once we do that, because more in duality, everything is outside, we then fight the mirror, we don't like it, and we say, that's not me, that's them, right? And then we miss the opportunity to heal with the mirror. Monica is saying, I'm still trying to learn why, when I acknowledge being grateful for anything, it lives my life on large scale things and small scale things. When you are grateful, okay, so this might be because when we are finishing a contract, when we are finishing a cycle of experiences, when we're grateful for that we exchange with that person or in a job or in a place, gratitude ends contracts. So that means that we transcend, we outgrow those patterns. And when we are grateful, then things, people grow with us, and we take that to the next level of reality, or they exit our reality. Yes? It's the only way to transcend, through gratitude. So that's when we are grateful, we finish something, there's movement towards more evolution always. And that means that the mirrors that we are reflecting poverty aspects inside, they have to leave because they can no longer reflect my expansion and evolution. Okay, so it's a clearing, purification process. Aparajita says, sometimes the things for which I felt grateful turned against me. Could you elaborate a little bit more, Aparajita? I think it's worth going into this pattern.
Yes, I just wanted to share, like, I had always been a very positive person, joyful, but things happen in life, and things did happen in my life. My toxic marriage broke down in a very negative way. And when I was going through that process and I was doing everything to make things work for the sake of my daughter, I even had gratitude for the good things, my home and everything, but eventually all of that was taken away from me. So means I'm not like, I do still feel gratitude for a lot of good things, a lot of good people in my life, opportunities, but that wound is still there in me. Like, I'm trying to figure out what is the lesson from that. And I did come a long way, but still, because that has affected me and my daughter to a great extent, because oftentimes we have this feeling that people get away by doing wrong things, and there is no justice. Thank you for letting me share.
Okay. So it's a big topic. I could reflect many things, but so I think we have to become aware of the fact that when we take embodiment, as I said before, we will be meeting, that's our contract, we signed up for that. We will be meeting all the people, or at least most of the people we made karma with. We could be marrying those people. We could be having those children. Our guru, she's not in embodiment anymore, Guru Ma has said that, especially when we have just one or two children, they are people we made heavy karma with. And they come into our lives as children so that we balance the karma with them. Now, if you have like 6, 7, 8, maybe then you can have the avatars, right? But typically the first children are karmic children. And why do they come as children? Because as children, you have to pay for their food, school, home. You have to give, right? Now, sometimes we even have them as children to balance the karma, and we don't like to pay the karma and give them all we have to be giving them. Nourishment, education, food, home, support, counseling, the teachings, the DHARMA, ideally, all of that, right? So because we come to sponsor those souls until the karma is balanced. So you might all become aware that hopefully in this embodiment, you might have a first half of the embodiment in which you are with karmic relationships, because you have to clear that before you can turn that into dharma. Yes, your duty to life and purpose, etc. But you cannot completely move on to the purpose and mission unless you clear the karma with the people you made karma with. Those could be friends, they could be parents, okay? But especially children, they come to collect, the debt we have with them, and they have to come to collect that in the form of money and energy. And unless we do that joyfully, and we are not victims to that process, it can be actually an amazing experience. But we have to be very mindful about that and give it from the heart until we pay the last jot and tittle of karma with those beings. Okay? If we don't do that, we cannot move on to the community sphere, humanity, planetary sphere, yeah? Because we still have karma there, and we might become resentful with those people because they ask too much and they need too much. No, you need to pay that debt, really. That's a real thing, okay? But if you're aware, you end that cycle joyfully. And something very important, suppose that you eventually end a marriage contract, or it can be this with a friend or any relationship, but typically with partners it's easy to see. So you're ending the contract with an ex-partner. Most people, what they do, instead of giving to them, they are calculating all the things they will take from them to make a good arrangement. That is ego. You can only live relationships by giving to them all that they ask and need. Not by thinking, what will I keep and win, from this situation. Then you don't balance the karma. It's ego, it's selfishness, it's greed, right? So be very mindful that when you end, especially marriages, you listen to that other person and you give them all they ask for. Even if it's the child you have in common, you give it to them. If they ask for all the money or half the money, you give it to them. Time, space, whatever they need, because you need to pay that karma. If you make business with your ex-partner, say, what shall I keep? What shall you keep? And still karma with that person. You didn't heal that. That's very important to end contracts, okay? You always end by giving. You end by being grateful and loving and paying your debt to that person. Yes? If that was a business for you, go back to that and revise that. Because unless you do that, you won't be able to make progress. Life will send you back and back and back to go heal that first. Very, very important, okay? To end respectfully and understand that with people, it's not about keeping anything. Yes? It's about balancing everything. And most of it is financial sometimes, because it's the easiest thing for people to give. Love is more difficult. Money, easier, and not so easy sometimes even, okay? So that's very, very important. Did you end every single relationship by giving? Be very honest about that, yes? Because life will take you back, consciousness will take you back to that moment, to balance that. So, and Aparajita, I will really, really invite you to connect with either Simbel or Swana. They give free sessions, and anybody here, to know how to get started and go into deeper issues and have that private space with them. They are training with us, so they know how to answer those questions and help you. Because of course, this is the general answer I'm giving to everyone. But to get started on your path of freedom, maybe you need more detailed and specific answers, okay? So contact them for free. You have all the information on our website, on Master Your Destiny, or on the WhatsApp on our website. Connect with a life mentor, yes? Even if you don't start the path with us, but that connection is very important, that you have a conversation with somebody, at least once in your life, who can explain to you things from another perspective, and you feel the love and the compassion and the wisdom from them. They've gone through those experiences themselves, so there's no judgment involved, and they have all the tools and practices they can share. So no strings attached, just give yourself that conversation. Yes, it's for free. You don't have to necessarily continue then if you don't resonate, but give yourself the opportunity to explore what's available, what's possible, okay, through the life mentors. So I'll share the purpose of these All Is Possible retreats, the general purpose, and then you'll go to set your intention for this month, not just for today. These retreats last for a month, okay? So it's whatever you want to be working on for the whole month of October. So the general purpose is to get ready to walk the path of freedom. There are many people stuck in empowerment, spiritual empowerment. Though we all go through that phase, it's not recommendable to stay there, because that's the phase of evolution of relative truth. It's where most of the healers and spiritual things are being offered, empowerment. We need a little bit of empowerment, of course, but there's a strong ego still in empowerment, and there's no connection with the Ascended Masters in empowerment. Though people say they channel the Ascended Masters, but don't believe that. So unless you step into liberation, desiring your soul liberation from karma, from samsara, from suffering, you'll just be looping and looping forever. So our community is a community of liberation, enlightenment, and ascension. That means that you can become a chela, a student, a disciple of the Ascended Masters. Are you all familiar with the Ascended Masters? The Ascended Masters are like us, but they ascended. So they have been on Earth. They had to go through the trials and tests of the path of initiation, and they were victorious and ascended in body and consciousness. They are all the masters from East and West that you can think of. Gautama Buddha, Krishna, Jesus, Kuthumi, Lady Nada, Mother Mary, all the ones you can think of, right? They form the Great White Brotherhood. white because they are saints by now. They have the white color around their aura, around their crown chakra. So unless we make the connection and we start mentoring with an ascended master, and it's not easy to make the connection because they are not here in this plane of existence, it's actually impossible to make progress. We need the sponsorship of the Brotherhood of the Light. Whoever tells you otherwise is lying to you. It's just reinforcing your ego that you can do it on yourself, and you don't need the help of the hierarchy of light. So how are you going to ascend daily, ascend your consciousness, vibration daily, unless you have the thread of contact with someone that is already ascended? Yes? There's no power to go up. So that's the power of the Brotherhood of Light. Only the ascended masters and their representatives on earth can help us ascend daily. No one in empowerment will tell you this because, well, many reasons. Unless we have a tie with the ascended masters, we are stuck in the disintegration spiral. Why? Because the karma weighs. We go down with the karma. Yes? We have no power, no strength to rise above our own karma. So then we can't fulfill our purpose mission. What happens if we fail our purpose mission? We come back. We know that one. Again and again. Yes? We don't want to be doing that again. So the best way to balance karma and fulfill our reason for being is to engage in the work of the Ascended Masters and either receive first as students and then share the authentic keys to freedom. Unless we are serving the truth, we are supporting the lie. Relative truth is a lie because the truth is absolute. And only the Ascended Masters give us the absolute truth to become liberated, okay? So I'll give you a few moments to set your intention for this month. What is that you want to be challenging, illuminating, expanding, activating, awakening? You can write it down on a piece of paper. So today we'll give you a few tools to help you build healing momentum. And this retreat is not over today in these 2 hours. Then you have all the month to apply the tools to fulfill that intention, okay? So the intention should be something that is not very easy, because then you won't break through, but it shouldn't be terribly difficult because you'll become demotivated. So something that stretches you a little bit more and inspires you to cultivate spiritual discipline, but that is attainable because you can put all the energy into that and you're willing, to do that. So write that down on a piece of paper to have the north, the direction for this month. So for the ones who have more specific questions, like Gloria, now I read a question in the chat box. Could you please share that with one of our life mentors, this free introductory session? Yes, because that requires a lot of, personal time that we are willing to give you, but the context is with the life mentors in the free introductory session. So you can go deep and you're heard and they can give you the medicine for that. Elise was saying on the chat box, I think if you give because of fear, you need to love yourself too, to cut cords and respect the child in you, the new you. Sometimes finishing is not about giving everything, not necessarily an ego, karma-driven choice, but love-centered decision. Yes, and love gives. Yes, love gives, always. Love gives. We have the feeling that, oh, but if I'm a giver, people will take advantage of me. I can give too much. Have you ever given too much? I don't think so. We can always give more, but the ego is always saying, well, but not that much. A little bit, not to this person, not right now. I need, da, da, da. So it's all the ego games, right? Love is intelligent. Love is wise. Love never depletes resources. Love never overgives. Love comes with a balance. The thing we don't agree with that balance most of the times. We have our idea of what is enough. What if it's not enough? The masters always talk about the acceptable offering. But the ego does not get to say this is the acceptable offering. It's the master in us that says this is acceptable to balance my karma, learn, shift my energy, mature, whatever needs to happen, and move on to the next frequency. Okay? So in general, we consult the ego, say, well, this is enough. My ego considers that this is enough. Consult your inner master, consult your inner Christ. It'll give you another answer, I'm sure, okay? I'm not talking to Elise, this is for all of us, right? So it's very tricky, very tricky. Am I consulting my ego ancestral self, the one that doesn't want to pay the karma? Or am I consulting the master in me, who is connected with divine providence, is not afraid of resources, and is not afraid of giving because it knows that the more I give, the more I receive. Your master knows the laws of abundance. Whenever there's fear in giving, you're disconnected from the laws of abundance because there's fear, right? And it's a journey. So that's why we give the 33 light codes. It's a course that we give to go back to the higher self. And it's difficult to live from the higher self because that's the giver in you. That's the giver. And that doesn't control resources, doesn't protect or defend anything, because there's nothing to protect. If you're in balance, there's nothing to protect. If you're connected, life is fair. Life is fair because your presence is mediating everything. Yes? Now, it's very dangerous when we make conclusions with the mind because then we don't balance the karma. It's just what is convenient to my ego, to my fears, for my safety. But it'll loop there forever. We have to go through those fears, okay? So, any intentions that anyone wants to share for this month? Anything you want to reconcile with, shift inside? Don't be afraid of, like I'll just go to those patterns. And it can be uncomfortable because we lie to ourselves a lot. Don't we say, I'm generous, I'm compassionate, I'm wise, I'm grateful, I'm this, I'm that. Yeah, until we start connecting, internally without judgment. And we find that, yes, we have many good qualities and we have a lot of things we have to be correcting inside. Yes, and mastery means we equally face karma and dharma, light and shadow. That's mastery, okay? Paranjita says, my intention is to forgive and move forward in joy to my soul-aligned life. Beautiful. So all this has to be clear when we are mentioning to do that. And the free session with our life mentors will help you in that direction. Beautiful. And also we have to be very humble. We have to be willing to admit, those things we have to correct inside, not be hard on ourselves, be very neutral about it, and ask for help and be humble that, I thought I had a good relationship with this or that, but maybe I could learn a little bit more about this, right? Simbel?
As you were talking about going deep versus a superficiality, it brought to mind a pattern in my family, which is very clear whenever we would have family reunions. There was sort of this ongoing joke that my sister and I would have, which is don't ask more than 3 questions to anybody because they don't want to go deep. Just, how are you? How are the kids? How's life? And or how's your job? Whatever. But don't go any further than that. And so it's very clear to me that that is a very strong ancestral veil in terms of, and so asking more than 3 questions, I'm guessing the first 3 questions are always for the ego. So I need to go with many, 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 many more questions in order to go deep. And I think that was,
Because a typical ancestral question is, what's the weather like? Where did you go on holiday? How's your dog doing? You know, yeah. Let's keep that level of conversation, right? Versus, how are you really doing?
Right.
Yeah? Nobody wants to answer those questions.
What's for dinner?
Yeah, what's for dinner? Nice food. You look good, you know? Did you go to the hairdressers? You look good now. Etc. Okay, so Kine is saying intention is to purify and rise above all the karma that I can release this month to keep progressing. Monica, I would like to be able to articulate the big pile of mess of issues inside since I feel still very spacey and scrambled. Okay, so please connect with our life mentors, all of you. It's going to be an amazing private session to go deep with a lot of compassion. So remember that this intention and this retreat, let's say, will not be over today. We are opening a door today. It will open a portal of spiritual tests, opportunities, and experiences for the whole month. Okay? Today we create the alignment. You are vulnerable to set that intention. You'll receive the tools, but then there's a work that you have to be doing inner work for the whole month. So let's go to the theme of this retreat. Accept the miracle of life. I think you're all here for this, really, you know, not the first part that I have addressed. Accept the miracle of life. Life means life force energy. And in the age of Aquarius, we have to become energy masters. We have to master life force energy. How do I qualify energy? Yes. And for that, we have to know the laws of divine alchemy. Nobody's going to do the work for us. We need to know the laws of alchemy to then balance our own karma, go to our shadow aspects, transmute, know that we can shift that. So there shouldn't be any fear. I can become aware, shift it, become liberated, and turn all that into light. That's what mastering energy is all about, right? And then I have this full Kundalini energy, the Shakti energy, the life force energy, that can really help me make progress. But first of all, I have to purify that. And the Kundalini will rise from the base of the spine chakra up to the crown, doing exactly what Monica said, dissolving or neutralizing or purifying all the mess of issues inside. Okay? And we shouldn't be scared. The Kundalini, the life force, is very powerful. And then if we cultivate cosmic energy through meditation, we have a lot of support from Source and the Ascended Masters to do that. But you have to go through the inner purification. Yes, there's no other way to do this. So what is the miracle of life? The first miracle is to be in embodiment. You might take that for granted, but there are many souls who want to take embodiment and cannot. Yes? So the soul comes into a physical body. If you don't believe in the soul, your energy comes into a physical body. And only here we can balance karma. Yes? So it's a blessing. It's a miracle that we are here with a physical body dealing with our life lessons. Being an embodiment means that we have the opportunity to study the cosmic law, the DHARMA, balance our karma by serving the light, and liberate ourselves from the cycle of suffering, samsara. We need to be an embodiment to do all of this. At least the first 51%. Once we balance 51% of karma, we can ascend and we can clear the remaining 49 in the ascended state, but not the 51%. So imagine all the souls that are up there waiting to take embodiment, and either there are no parents wanting to sponsor those souls, they cannot come down, or for whatever karmic reasons, they cannot take embodiment. So they cannot really have the opportunity to get out of the cycle of samsara by doing the inner work. It's very auspicious to be here in embodiment, okay? So wouldn't you love to stop being afraid of your healing journey? People are afraid of the healing journey. And instead embrace the beauty of divine healing. Healing is a gift from Source. Why do we reject the healing if it's a gift? It's a gift from Source. If we reject that first gift, which is the gift of healing, can God give us more than that? That's the first gift. You're an embodiment, I give you the gift of healing. Oh, I don't want it. I don't like it. Then I cannot give you much more than that, right? Because that's the basic gift. And from that healing then comes everything. The love, the abundance, the progress, the community, connecting with loving relationships. Everything comes from the gift of healing. Yes? So we have to accept that first. And remember that in this embodiment, the blessings that you will be given are proportional to your capacity to challenge your ego. Your blessings are proportional to your capacity to challenge your ego. Why is this? Sacrifices turn into momentums of light. To sacrifice the ego means to challenge that, to stop it, to, destroy the ego. Destroy just means to neutralize, to make it lose power. Unless you challenge your ego, you don't have momentum in the light because the ego is stronger. Yes? So every sacrifice, every moment of healing means more momentum of light, more increment of light. You can call it merit, spiritual merit. So how do we cultivate merit? By challenging the ego and saying, this is not me. I don't want to be this anymore because it's my non-real self. And I stop protecting and defending unreality. But I have to pierce through that veil of illusion. Nobody's going to do it for us. Yes? We need to sit in front of our ego and say, no more. Enough is enough. Don't convince me anymore. I'll take command here. I'll take dominion of my reality. This is false. The truth in me is completely different. I won't accept that as me anymore. That requires sovereignty. So I want to share a few guidelines and a summary of how we can align with the miracle of life. The first one is be. Just a short verb. Be. What does that mean? Be. We have to align with our higher self. The ego will never align or acknowledge that life is a miracle. Yes? So we have to willingly align with our higher real self. We have to align with our presence, the I am presence, and not be in the ego, the human doer, taking credit for everything. We have to be. That's why we recommend starting the path of 33 light codes, which represents the Christ consciousness in us through Master Your Destiny. Yes? To align with the miracle of life, we have to start mastering our life and energy. So we have to be. And this is very, very hard because sometimes we are the victim to get the approval of others, the love of others, to belong, to play small because people like us when we play small. No, we have to be to align. Yes? Then we have to surrender. Most people hate the word surrender. Surrender. What does that mean? Let go of control. Accept love, accept the healing as it is without manipulation. So I surrender to my higher self. I'll go make that connection, listen to my inner guidance, whether I like it or not, because I need the inner correction. So for that, I have to surrender into higher ways. We never surrender to something outside of ourselves. It's to your inner wisdom that is in your heart. The heart is the seat of wisdom. You have to surrender to your heart versus your mind, yes? And follow the way of the heart. That's to surrender. Has nothing to do with submission, being submissive. It's to stop fighting. To surrender is to stop fighting. What happens when we fight? We cultivate more anger and violence and separation and resistance. Yes, whereas surrender, openness, receptivity, flow, connection, collaboration. then we have to value our life. Sadly enough, you will see that most people don't value their life. They will tell you that, yeah, they do, right? But they don't value their life. To value our life means to find purpose, to make the right use of energy, to understand the richness of being an embodiment, and we like to waste the embodiment doing silly things. If we value our life, we want to find our purpose, why we are here, who are we, what is my life plan, what is the will of God for me, versus just having fun, as if it were Disneyland, right? So we value our life. There's something sacred about our life. We have to find that out. What is that? We have to love God, the geometry of divinity, above all else. This is hard. Most people are here just to make money, for the glory of that, for vanity, for external reasons, not to love God above all else, to love the presence, the creator, source in us. There's no God outside of us, it's in us. It's the part of us that is already perfect, that never forgot our life plan, our value, our presence. Unless we make that the priority, who's going to guide us back to reality? Unless we make God the priority, who's going to guide us back to reality? Nothing, nobody. That's why God goes first. I want the truth first, and then all else. We have to lay our lessons to heart, not to the mind, to heart. That means we have to accept our learning curve. We are all on a learning curve here on earth. We came to learn things. So we have to honor our lessons versus I don't like them, I don't want to learn, maybe later, maybe tomorrow, maybe in another embodiment. Why this lesson? No, take them to heart, to the wisdom of the heart, and then we understand them. We honor them and we love them. And then we can learn, right? We stop playing games with God. There are so many people flirting with spirituality. Do you understand the concept of flirting? No commitment, falling around, wasting time, not doing the right things. So we have to stop playing games. We cannot receive the miracle of conversion, the miracle of life, of the new life, if we are playing games with God, if we don't take the path seriously. Yes. And this with any relationship, have to stop playing games with everybody, basically, and especially with ourselves. We have to take our path seriously. Yeah. We have to be willing to co-create our victory. That means we need a guru, we need a mentor, we need somebody to help us heal. And not just, I'll show up and you'll do it for me. I think many people have their guru or mentor and they think, well, it's the guru's or the mentor's job to fix me. That's why I go to you, guru mentor, right? No, it's a co-creation. Your guru, your mentor will just show you things, give you disciplines, hold space for you, co-create with you, motivate you when that's needed, remind you, hold you accountable. But it's a co-creation. It's basically with you and God. The guru, the life mentor, is a mediator on earth. That's easier because we see the person, we phone the person, we write an email to the person, right? It's more tangible. We're just mediators. It's between you and God. Yes. We need to co-create your victory. Most people say, well, God is all powerful. Why isn't God fixing me and that's it, right? Just sit here, breathe a little bit. God has to do this for me. Jesus has to do this for me. My mentor has to do this for me. My husband, my wife, my kid. You have to do it with the matrix of perfection. Yes, with your own presence. Because you want to earn your victory. You want to earn your victory. You want to know how it's done, how it's accomplished, to pass it on to others, right? Eventually. Then don't waste time. Always move forward. This requires proactivity and determination. It's very easy to lose momentum on the path, to lose healing momentum, and all types of momentums. Don't lose momentum. That's a very dangerous moment on the path. Yes? So become aware and do all that you can to catch up with the collective frequency, with the planetary frequency. Always move forward, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, okay? Keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. Keep on keeping on, masters say. Keep on keeping on. If you say you desire something, mean it. How many times we say we want something and we don't mean it? We don't have the commitment. And then there are the broken promises, broken vows. That's very karmic. We promise things and then we don't do that. So we have to have commitment. We have to be grateful for all the abundance in our life. The state of appreciation versus complaint. And it's difficult to be aware of abundance when we are being the victim. Yes? The moment we shift the inner focus and we start saying, thank you, look at all the abundance in my life, and we are appreciative and devotional, things change in an instant. Because we acknowledge the presence in our life, we acknowledge God in action in our life. Yeah? So practicing, focusing on abundance every day, at least say, okay, what are 3 things I'm grateful for today? That's a different mindset, right? That will connect you with the right things, the beautiful things in life. Respect the guides that God sends to help you. Don't we sometimes fight the people who want to help us? That can be the psychologist, the therapist, the nutritionist, the doctor, the guru, the mentor, the partner, whoever God sends you for support, for help. So to respect the guides that God sends to help us, we have to be humble. Whereas, oh, I don't like this type of help. I don't like this person. I would love my guru, mentor, psychologist, therapist to be this other way, right? It's what they are. And for some reason, you're stuck with them, okay? So love them, respect them. So respect that God sends to help you. This is key. And sometimes it can even be your wife, husband. It can be a boss. It can be a co-worker. No? It could be anybody and everybody. And the last one is acknowledge your desire for spiritual conversion. Go back to love God above all else. We need to really come to terms with the fact that the only desire that is in our heart is to become liberated. Spiritual conversion. Convert from the shadow to the light, from ego to the higher self. That's the only thing we desire, to stop being victims. Because only the victim in us makes us suffer. Yeah? Unless we desire spiritual conversion, like the deep work, we will not find the ultimate antidote to suffering. We will just be connected with superficial things, looping, wasting a lot of time. But don't you want to find the ultimate antidote to suffering? If you're very honest in your heart, you want that. That's the only thing you want. It's the only thing. So Aparajita is asking, what is playing games with God? So Anna, would you like to answer that question?
It's going to this frequency of flirting that you mentioned. So, oh yes, I'll take a look at this. Oh, this looks interesting. But you're dipping your toe in and out, and you know you're playing because you don't want to commit. So there's this maturing that occurs within us when we're ready for this spiritual path. We realise we've been skirting around the sides. playing a bit, still wanting to be children, didn't really want to take responsibility. So much easier to say, no, it's you, it's not me. Oh, they're awful, it's nothing to do with me. So this is about how serious am I about really wanting to transcend this suffering? And these mirrors in my life and what they're showing me, these frequencies that I really don't like, but they keep on happening around me. How can I really transcend that? Well, with everything in life, if we want to transcend, we have to commit. We have to take responsibility and we have to grow up. So if we truly seek to be these spiritual beings, more Christed beings, it takes growing up and taking responsibility and commitment and really being willing to step into those things inside and not flirt anymore, because with the flirting, nothing is resolved. The suffering continues, the cycles continue. And so that's the only medicine, is to really go in deep, face things, and know that you have the tools, the alchemy, to alchemize those things. And then in the alchemy comes liberation, comes more light and freedom. And isn't it what we all want in the end? And it's possible. It's possible. And this is the journey.
And really joining this community or any serious, authentic community of liberation, enlightenment, ascension means that we move beyond the illusion of empowerment. In empowerment, there's no guru, there's no divine teaching, and there's no community. There are entertainers, fragmented teachings, and a group of people showing up together for something. That's the truth. So that is flirting. I pretend that I'm doing something that I'm not doing. I'll never find liberation doing that because the level of commitment is minimum. It all goes for the ego in general. There's a lot of phenomena going on in those communities, but there's real liberation because nobody's balancing karma to begin with, and nobody's really serving there. So if we really stop playing with God, we should be saying, I want to find my authentic community, liberation, enlightenment, ascension. Yes? Now we find that outside. We call it in Buddhism, that is called the three jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, the good teachings, the community. When we want the three jewels inside, they will show up outside. But it's not enough that they show up outside. Oh, it's you, it's all of you, right? This looks like my three jewels, that they come to serve me and help me. I have to choose the three jewels and partner with the three jewels and open my heart to the three jewels and accept the support and co-create, yes? And join this force field of ascension is the only way. From a distance, watching YouTube videos, it's not going to be accomplished that way. That's comfortable for the ego, right? But this requires commitment, involvement, to be challenged, to be shown your potential. Who's going to do that with you? Do you think your friends and family will show you your potential of liberation? Have they? No, right? Because they don't know it. And they haven't chosen that. So the real commitment is, I really want to find the magnificence within, the light within. But I have to go through the shadow first, okay? And it requires tremendous support because there's a lot of resistance and mechanisms of the ego. Protection mechanisms, defense mechanisms, compensation mechanisms, not to destroy that matrix of illusion. Yes, it's difficult to do it on our own. So we need the support, the light network for that. And then we start creating a spiral of ascension. And it's not just it's you with the guru, the visions, the community, and the brotherhood of light, all the ascended beings. It takes all that to become liberated. If we have the egoic idea that I'll do it with my therapist, I'll do it with my this or that. No, you won't. It's a team of light that you need. Different people will show you different aspects of your psychology and your spiritual health, right? It requires a team to ascend. It requires a team to become liberated. And tremendous love in your heart to accept a team versus me, I'll figure this one out. See how that goes. You've done that for thousands of years and you're still here. Didn't work. Didn't work for me, didn't work for you, okay? We have to open the heart to the three jewels. That's scary for the ego because the ego thinks, oh, I'm gonna lose my life. Yes, you will. You have to. You have to lose your egoic life, your limitations. Yes? That's what Jesus said. Unless you lose your life, you won't find it. So that means destroying the egoic matrix, the matrix of illusion, of poverty, limitation, separation, victimhood, etc. That can be accomplished, but it requires discipline. This is the main thing that we need for healing momentum. Discipline in the light. Very difficult. Very difficult without help and support. Because life gets in the way, we get distracted, and that's it, okay? So, our life mentors will share a few of our foundational practices today so that we can start aligning the miracle of life and start mastering our energy. So, Simbel, can you walk everyone through the processes?
Yes, and as you mentioned, discipline, it brings the whole reason why we do spiritual practices. You know, anytime we want to master anything, we need to train. Athletes train, they hire coaches, they work as a team, they practice many, many hours. People in the artistic community, they spend many, many, many hours training and honing their skill. And it's the same. If we want to master our energy, to become masters of the light, we need to train. And we need to do it in a very focused way. And so our community, of course, is really dedicated to this. And so we have many, many practices that we do on a daily basis. We do on a weekly basis. We come together once a month in these retreats to help amplify the light. And we do this because we have this vision. And our vision is to anchor in this next golden age on planet Earth. We want to support collective enlightenment and ascension. And each of us have a role. And we begin by taking personal responsibility in this role, just in our daily practices is what we do. And so we do many prayers, decrees, mantras, energy transmissions, rituals. The 33 light codes are really the foundation of our foundational practice for the transformation. So many, many, many things that we offer. Today, what we're going to do is just kind of delve into some of these practices so everybody can get a taste of what we offer. And you, of course, we encourage you to do many of these practices yourself at home on a daily basis. Find what resonates with you and use them. So the first thing that we want to do is call in our mission protectors. This is a co-creative process. We're co-creating with the ascended realms, so it's very important to invoke them, to acknowledge them, to ask for the protection of the three jewels, which are the guru mentor, the teachings, and the community, so that we really honor this sacred space of what we're creating together. And it helps us to align with this ascension vortex that we're all creating as a community. So we'll begin by calling in our mission protectors. And if you'd like, you can close your eyes to help focus this energy. And just take a deep breath to connect together. In the name of the I am that I am, we now call forth our mission protectors so that they guard our path, protect our guru mentor, protect our teachings, protect our community. heavenly and worldly protectors, Elohim and elemental life, archangels and legions of angels, spirit of the Great White Brotherhood, masters of the Ruby Ray lineage, help us embody our prosperity consciousness so that we can benefit all sentient life. Avert the inner and outer obstacles, the serpent mind and temptations that could prevent us from revealing our true nature by returning to the I Am, our Guru. As we open the door of humanity, help us dispel all conflict and disharmony, support our constructive endeavors, increase the virtue of auspiciousness, and swiftly show us how to accomplish all our enlightened activities so that we can fulfill our global service and be victorious. Guide us as we completely purify our individual planetary karma and consecrate our life to the activity of the light. We vow to use our sacred energy to liberate humanity from samsara. To achieve collective enlightenment and ascension, we pray. To achieve collective enlightenment and ascension, we pray. To achieve collective enlightenment and ascension, we pray. And we'll now call in a prayer for divine health. As we ask, may divine energy surround me and activate my body of light. May my higher self remind me how to use my life force energy wisely. May everything unite in the presence of the light. May everything unite in the presence of the light. May everything unite in the presence of the light. And sometimes it can be challenging for everything to come together and unite in the presence of the light. Our mind can be very active. We can have unprocessed emotions that are causing turbulence inside. And one of our foundational practices to help with that, help calming that and receiving more of this cosmic light and flow of energy, is to do the sacred breath. And the sacred breath helps quiet the mind and neutralize this internal conflict. It's a way of surrendering to a new way of being centered, connected to this light force, this miracle of life. And so you can think of this practice as an integral detox, and it empties your inner temple of anything that's just not aligned with this light, and you can really restore your peace and harmony within. So I invite you to close your eyes if you haven't already done so. And just visualize a shooting star moving through the heavens, coming down through the darkness, this light shining so brightly, descending through your soul star chakra above your head, moving down through the crown, through all your chakras, down through your legs, below your feet, till it meets to the earth star chakra. Just feeling this light moving up and down in your central column. You can visualize the soul star chakra above your head and the earth star chakra rotating different directions. to create a vortex of light. And anything that's going on inside your inner temple right now that's not in alignment, just offer it to this vortex of light so it can be consumed. And you can be receptive to receive more cosmic light. And we're going to do the square breathing practice now, where we inhale to the count of 4, hold to the count of 4, we exhale to the count of 4, and we hold our breath again to the count of 4. So let's inhale, hold, exhale, hold, 2, 3. Inhale to receive, hold to alchemize, exhale to return, and hold to re-encode. Inhale to receive the light, hold to alchemize what's not aligned, exhale to return that back to source, and hold to re-encode all yourself with this light. As you inhale, say, I receive. As you hold, I alchemize. Exhale, I return. Hold, I re-encode. Inhale, I receive. Hold, I alchemize. Exhale, I return. Hold, I re-encode. I receive. I alchemize. I return. I re-encode. I receive all this cosmic light within my temple. I alchemize what is not pure. I return that to source. And I re-encode every cell with this light. Do one more time. I receive. I alchemize. I return. I re-encode. Continue to breathe in slowly the light. And exhale any toxicity. Finding that peace within, that you can align with the light. To help us really qualify this light so that we can align with being. The first step in that miracle of life is to be. It's be. And when we conjugate that verb to be in English, the first person is I am. I am. We can't pretend. We actually have to be this. So we use the words I am in this decree to consciously program ourselves, to remind ourselves that we are calling in the qualities of our God presence. And this is a beautiful decree. We're going to do it 3 times now. You can visualize yourself truly being this light. So you can say it along out loud as you're muted, and I will do this 3 times. I am light, glowing light, radiating light, intensified light. God consumes my darkness, transmuted it into light. This day, I am a focus of the central sun. Flowing through me is a crystal river, a living fountain of light that can never be qualified by human thought and feeling. I am an outpost of the divine. Such darkness, such uselessness, is swallowed up by the mighty river of light, which I am. I am light. I live in light. I am light's fullest dimension. I am light's purest intention. I am light, 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 flooding the world everywhere I move, the blessing, strengthening, and conveying the purpose of the kingdom of heaven. I am light, glowing light, radiating light, intensified light. God consumes my darkness, transmuted it into light. This day, I am a focus of the central sun. Flowing through me is a crystal river, a living fountain of light that can never be qualified by human thought and feeling. I am an outpost of the divine. Such darkness as issues me is swallowed up by the mighty river of light, which I am. I am light. I live in light. I am light's fullest dimension. I am light's purest intention. I am light, 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 flooding the world everywhere I move. The blessing, strengthening, and conveying the purpose of the kingdom of heaven. I am light, glowing light, radiating light, intensified light. God consumes my darkness, transmuted it into light. This day, I am a focus of the central sun. Flowing through me is a crystal river, a living fountain of light that can never be qualified by human thought and feeling. I am an outpost of the divine. Such darkness as has used me is swallowed up by the mighty river of light, which I am. I am light. I live in light. I am light's fullest dimension. I am light's purest intention. I am light, 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 flooding the world everywhere I move, blessing, strengthening, and conveying the purpose of the kingdom of heaven. Take a deep breath. Allow that to penetrate every cell in your being. Let's decree that I am light. And as we say these decrees, we qualify the energy with our throat chakra, and it ripples out into all our spheres of consciousness. And it makes a statement that the entire universe hears. So we're aligning with this miracle of life. And that's part of following the path of light that we are on. And as we follow this path of light, we're constantly reminded to trust and to surrender. Those are 2 words you will hear a lot of in the Enlightened Education community. Trust and surrender. And so we have a lovely, lovely mantra that helps us reinforce this surrendering. And when we affirm this mantra, we can choose to follow our divine purpose and to make choices that are based on righteous action. And that righteous action is sharing and giving and finding ways to amplify it. So we'll do this mantra now 9 times. You can see it in the chat box. I surrender to the miracle of creation. And I find it helps me to close my eyes when I say mantras, so I can really focus my energy that way. You can close your eyes if you so desire, or leave them open. We'll begin. I surrender to the miracle of creation. 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 Deep breath in. Taking the mantra to your heart. Feeling it activate a remembrance within.
As you surrender to the miracle of creation, you'll be surrendering to the Divine Mother in you. The Divine Mother is the miracle. It's the Kundalini, the Shakti energy that takes us back to the Father when we enter the spiritualization vortex. We let go of the attachment to materialism, thinking that external things will save us or release us from suffering. So you surrender to the Divine Mother in you. And Swana, can you guide us through the violet flame practice?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Simbel, for that. So now we're going to be sharing the forgiveness prayer with you. And we've shared this in some of the other All Is Possible too. And within this prayer, as we say it, we are invoking the violet flame. And this flame is a tool of alchemy, of transformation and transmutation. And it is a prayer that has been given to Gaitana Yantal, to this community. And within this prayer is held those frequencies of this violet flame and alchemy. It is a huge gift in itself to be given the violet flame to humanity so that we can use this tool. But this prayer is a really powerful practice that all of us in the community use on a daily basis. And you can build up this practice, you can start a few minutes and then continue maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes. What you're doing by saying this prayer is invoking the flame. And because it's a divine tool, a divine fire, it goes into your electronic belt, into your karma, and it begins to move through, burning through records, memories, patterns, things that the divine knows that you're ready to address, face, and release and alchemize. So many things are happening when you invoke the violet flame, but as Gaitana was mentioning earlier, it's not just a process, a passive process of doing the alchemy and expecting everything to be released. We have to participate too, and with our maturity in using this flame, then we are asked to really change ourselves and the patterns that come to light. So as you use this flame, often for me, I might see a memory, or there might be a feeling or an emotion, because this flame goes into records, deep records, and things that you hold inside that maybe you have never released or addressed yet. And so then during this month, potentially, you might face those patterns again, and you get this choice now as more of a mature being. Do I choose to do the same thing as I did before in creating this pattern and holding on to it because it's an autopilot response in me to keep doing the same thing again and again? Or do I choose the master in me and choose to do something differently from more of an enlightened mind, the mastermind within you, the Christ mind? So know that all of this is happening as we start to give this forgiveness prayer. And so as a community, we shall say this prayer together. And for all those who are new and still new to this forgiveness prayer, we shall just allow the waves of the violet flame to move through everybody here to assist with the burning and the releasing of everything that you're ready to let go of, and all those frequencies and patterns that have come up maybe during this session today together that you've noticed. So just know that this wave of violet flame is going to come through and start to assist with that alchemy. And it is also our intention as a community that this flame also works for all those new souls that come and find this recording in the near future. And so that this wave of violet flame continues to work and assist to alchemize all those willing souls that are ready to do this inner work. So we shall say this forgiveness prayer together 21 times to build the momentum of this violet flame. And so just close your eyes if it is easier for you to connect. Visualize this powerful violet flame of alchemy and the waves that are coming through from the community to you to assist you with transmuting these patterns. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. And allow this violet flame just to continue to burn through for a few moments. And now I'm going to introduce you to the first code. We've already mentioned there's 33 light codes altogether within Master Your Destiny. And they are like little dominoes. Each code comes in and starts to awaken an aspect within you of your Christed consciousness. And so they are a divine light technology given to Gaitana Yantal, and they are again just a huge, huge gift. And so this first code says this: I am enlightened consciousness. And the affirmation that comes with this is, I am ready to align with my soul purpose and to access the resources that will allow me to evolve with ease and grace. And so when we start to work with this code, you become aware of the transformative power of your inner light and your ability to co-create with Source. Know that we are not victims, but divine creators. And so this code assists, it comes in and it unpacks within you, and it does many, many things on a quantum level, but it starts to assist you to connect with that I am presence, that cosmic light inside of you. And it begins this expansion that starts your own expansion in your awareness, so that you start to perceive yourself as more than the small self, the ego self, the personality. So it starts to expand you in many, many ways to start to be able to have greater clarity and wisdom and perspective. And so we shall use this code in the meditation that we're going to do together now. So we're going to sit with this code, I am enlightened consciousness, for 12 minutes. I'll just guide you in the beginning, but then I will leave you in your center so that you can start to unpack this code within yourself, so it can reveal its many, many gifts of light to you. So if you just begin to breathe and take some centering breaths, allow yourself to be taken to your inner temple inside, and you are within a column of light that's going all the way through you. This column goes through your crown, through the cosmos, and connects to Alpha and Omega, where you are anchored in to source light. And this column goes all the way down through your feet into the very white fire core of Gaia. And so now you are anchored above and below, and you are within the safe space and sacred space of your inner temple. And allow this code, like a beautiful golden beam of light, to come down from source through your column of light, and allow it to be seeded in your heart as it begins to unpack itself as a divine geometry of golden frequencies. I am enlightened consciousness. I am enlightened consciousness. I am enlightened consciousness.
We'll do a shorter version today so that we finish on time. We do a lot of silent meditation in our community. So you can try when you do the light code on your own during the week for this month to do it for longer periods. So thank you, Swana and Simbel, for sharing all these main tools. And Aluna, would you like to share? Aluna and Ashaya have a few messages to share, and then we can stay for a Q&A if you're willing.
Sure. So if you find yourself drawn to this course, which is Master Your Destiny, this is going to inform you that you have arrived at the point on your spiritual path when you are becoming ready to stop flirting with God and leave behind your disempowering stories and step into empowering yourself to become the master of your destiny. This is a course of preparation and training to become divine servers. All of those who desire the golden age, that is us, are called to become divine servers. This is a natural progression on our path. Simbel mentioned the golden age and the spiritual practices earlier. So this course offers you our light technology of 33 light codes, which will help you align with your higher self, to then be empowered to challenge your ego and the egoic matrix. The light codes are portals to your subconscious. They really impact all levels of your being, your superconscious, your subconscious, your conscious and unconscious. And they help you clear your distortions. It helps you reactivate your divine potential and connect us to our joy and true essence. However, we do need to make a commitment to ourselves, to give ourselves the time to do the discipline and to stay focused on empowerment. It is a time for healing and liberation from karmic and ancestral imprints. Our life mentors, Swana and Simbel, will be your guides through this program. And I'm sure that by the time, in some time, you will notice and enjoy the progress you have made towards your truth. And that's a lovely place to be. Ashai has more details on the course to share with you. Ashai.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Aluna. And thank you to Swana and Simbel. I think we've built a lot of really good momentum here today. So if you want to learn more and you want to go even deeper to start walking the path of mastery, we're offering this course, Master Your Destiny. This course is offered on an ongoing basis, so you can start or stop whenever you want. So again, as Luna had mentioned, we have two life mentors, Swana and Simbel, who guide the program, and they hold these sessions on a weekly basis. Each session is for 90 minutes. So if you're interested in joining, we invite you to go to the website to enroll. It's enlightened-education.com, or you can send an email to Swana or Simbel if you'd like to get to know them a little bit more, to ask questions, and to obtain additional information. And they also offer free introductory sessions so that you can meet them. They can tell you all about the path, all about the technologies and the 33 light codes, and they can help you if you are willing. So they have the keys that can help to awaken higher levels of consciousness within you and to help prepare you to bring more light into the world. And whoever decides to join Master Your Destiny is also offered additional private sessions with their light mentor, which is apart from the regular group sessions. So there's a whole lot of support that's available so that you can apply the teachings, you can build more momentum, you can process your experiences. So it's an invitation for you to learn how to create as you develop self-mastery. So in case you're new to this program, you haven't heard about this before, you can also go back to the website or to YouTube and catch our replays and watch the previous sessions. And we're here to serve you and to meet your needs. So again, you can come and go as you like whenever it's needed. And our motto here is that we get together to serve the light. So please accept this as our invitation to come and join us. Thank you.
Thank you, Aluna and Ashaya. I hope you're all feeling the momentum today. So much light and healing energy. So are there any questions, any sharings, any comments? We would love to know about your experience today. How are you feeling towards the end of this retreat? Rochelle, since you shared last time, you can share this time also.
Okay, hello everybody. I just wanted to say thank you again. Unfortunately, in the beginning on my Sundays, I do have some obligations, so that's why it's been challenging coming in the beginning. But I'm working on these things so that I can have the full availability to you all and your teachings. One of the things that have come through for me is, it's funny, it's coming throughout this whole period of time for me is liberation. I have been an elite athlete for a great deal of my life since I was a child, so I understand the commitment and focus and discipline. But in the last few years of my life has come in with distractions and lots of suffering and things of that nature. So I'm in a place now of being able to focus on my healing and the liberation and transformation out of a current space of suffering and pain. And it is very easy to get caught up in a cycle over time. And this has taken me away from a core of who I am. So I'm working towards getting back into a place of strength, spiritual connection, and whereas I never was in a space of victimization, never there, I found myself getting kind of in that space. So now I'm in a space of saying, in certain instances, how can I say it? I get the opportunity, not where I have to do something, or I get this opportunity to share, to be in a place of healing. I'm looking at it now and getting myself out of that space so I can grow and get myself in a healthier place. So liberation is my theme right now. And that's what you brought to me today. You just confirming that for me. So thank you.
Thank you for that, Rochelle. So you can maybe say internally in your heart, I welcome the gift of liberation, because it's a gift.
Yes.
That source is giving you through us, in this case, if you choose us, and it's a gift, not an obligation, as you're saying, and it's up to us to either receive it or not receive it, right? God is
Right.
offering. It's up to us to say yes.
And to put your feet fully in it. So I understand that. And I've allowed a lot of distractions to kind of take me here and there. And I'm ready to walk into a space of discipline that I have been in most of my life. And I just didn't know how to be without it. So I'm ready to walk into it. And eventually I hope to plan to no, eventually I will. I'm working to join the class, but one of the themes that is also I need to get through is lack and
When you
financial.
take a first step towards commitment, You just have the free introductory session with a live mentor.
Yes, I know I have to commit to that.
Yes.
And when I speak to whomever I will connect to, you will understand why the delay has been there.
You'll understand that.
Yes, I will. I will. I will. Will.
So take that. Gloria, would you like to share with us?
Yes, thank you. It was beautiful. It was I slipped, I slipped and felt and was like, how do I get out of this? It was like all my tools were like, I mean, I didn't sleep last night. I couldn't even remember the violet flame. It's like, whoa, I'm deep. I'm deep in the dark, it was like, and I remembered like just before it was time to come, it's like, oh yeah, there's a retreat. So I'm just so grateful for the gift of helping me to remember that, yeah, we do fall, because I know I'm hard on myself. Oh my gosh, am I hard on myself? I can judge myself out of myself, so thank you for the gentleness and the softness, and just a reminder, I can do this, like,
yeah,
like I'm not, like, it's a path that it's just not a path like, okay, you do ABC and here you are. It's like ABC and then you go back to, you're at D and then you go back to A, and I wasn't allowing myself that. So thank you. Thank each and every one of you who have shared. I appreciate it.
So Gloria, can you feel your heart? I deserve freedom.
Okay.
Freedom.
That's my intention, freedom.
I deserve freedom, no matter what happened. I deserove freedom.
Thank you.
Everything can be transmuted, Gloria. Everything can be transmuted. There's no judgment. It's only the self-judgment. That's the funny thing.
Yeah.
It's only the self-condemnation that then we see through the mirrors, but it's us. So the moment you stop condemning yourself and you choose freedom,
that easy. Yeah.
You build the momentum, everything begins to expand. We have to deal with the shadow aspect, but it can be done in a joyful, responsible way, right?
Right.
Because we deserve that in this embodiment.
Thank you. Thank you for showing, because that was my word this month for like the last couple of weeks, was like, I was asking like, what is self-compassion? I don't even know what it feels or looks like.
Well, that's actually amazing, because the beginning of Master Destiny is developing or cultivating karuna consciousness, compassion. Karuna, compassion, right?
Okay.
And that's a foundation, because if we are very hard on ourselves, we don't even know that we deserve the healing. Yeah. So that's very important. So again, if you make the commitment to just take that step and connect either with Swana or Simbel, that conversation, you've been with us before, so maybe you're doing a few of the tools, they can guide you to the next step, okay?
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Rochelle?
Can I just say one thing that touched me, Gloria, when you said that is, as women, I think we have a tendency, especially if we are very giving, very loving individuals, we tend to have a very difficult time turning that forgiveness and that grace upon ourselves. We're very able to bestow it upon others, often sometimes giving ourselves away to where we have nothing for ourselves. And that's a space of boundaries that we have to learn. And I'm learning to do that later on in my life. I'm in my 60s. But I know looking back now, I've just given it away. So, Gloria, I'd just like to say to you, the fact that you've showed up today after all that you've gone through, we just need to learn to have grace upon yourselves. And we often can have these standards of perfection for ourselves as women, but we just need to release that. And I just want to say, Gloria, thank you for being here today, and have grace upon yourself and forgiveness upon yourself.
Thank you. And that's actually the thank you for mentioning grace, because that's the aspect of the Divine Mother, you know? So I to the miracle of creation, that's the grace of the Divine Mother. The Divine Mother in us, the global Divine Mother in any form, could be Mother Mary, it could be Kuan Yin, it could be a form of Divine Mother, has no judgment, pure compassion, pure wisdom, okay? So may you visualize the Divine Mother embracing you, holding space, hugging you, and saying, come on, start the journey, it'll be fine, okay? So thank you. And if anyone feels like leaving a testimonial on our website, or you send an email with that, we will add that to inspire others to join us on this for this all is possible retreats. Thank you so much. Remember that next time it's going to be November the 2nd, 1 hour later, the time change, so it's 12 p.m. Midday. Okay. Blessings. Love you all. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.